I thought we'd start off the program today talking about that much maligned molecule, much maligned chemical, if you will, called cholesterol. Yesterday, in an article that I know some of you have read because I got letters on it, it was announced by the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, which is made up of a bunch of politically appointed doctors and dietitians telling us what we're supposed to eat. According to the DGAC, cholesterol need no longer be considered a nutrient of concern. Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Dr. Wallach and I have been saying this thing for years. Cholesterol is no more responsible for heart disease than flies are responsible for garbage. So let's talk a little bit about this whole cholesterol thing, what it is and why it's important, and especially address the so-called cholesterol controversy. Actually, I can't really call it a controversy because if you understand how the body works, and if you understand cholesterol, there is no controversy. The whole battle with cholesterol is just another example of the ineffective and ignorant way that we do medicine in this country. We do battle against the world around us. We do battle against our bodies. We do battle against the environment. We do battle against our own bacteria and our own genetics and our own immune system. And we do battle against cancer, and we do battle against cholesterol. We keep getting this messaging from the medical model that it's a battle to be alive, and that we need these knights in shining armor, except in this case it's knights, it's geniuses, knights who are geniuses wearing lab coats and stethoscopes. But whatever they're wearing, they're still positioning themselves in this disempowering message as our wise saviors who can magically eliminate our health miseries. And it doesn't take much more than a quick look at general health statistics to see that this medical model of ours is just not working out very well. The whole idea that cholesterol causes heart disease, it has more holes in it than a tea bag, than the U.S. border, than Swiss cheese, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's ridiculous. To put it simply, cholesterol is arguably the most important chemical in our bodies. It's not the enemy. It's the friend. It's our friend. It's the distinguishing molecule between animal cells and plant cells. Its presence in a cell is the announcement that that cell is a human or an animal cell and not a fern plant cell or a bacterial cell. Cholesterol is only made in animal and human cells. Cholesterol is the chemical that allows us to move, it allows us to think, it allows us to fight disease. Nothing says ignorance more than a medical authority figure who thinks it's a good idea to poison the body, to eliminate a substance as vital as cholesterol, to poison the cholesterol-making machinery. This is how these kinds of drugs work. They poison the cholesterol-making chemistry in the body. And nothing says ignorance more loudly and more clearly than promoting this ridiculous strategy. Unless, of course, whoever's promoting it works for a drug company that's making billions and billions and billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars off these kinds of toxic strategies. There's some somewhat surprising things about cholesterol that most people don't know. Did you know that LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, is actually an important part of your immune system? Does that surprise anyone? It shouldn't. The body doesn't have bad anything. It doesn't have bad molecules. Unless they're toxins that are coming in from the outside, the body doesn't make bad molecules. The body is functional. It's divinely mandated to create chemistry that keeps it healthy and living and thriving for 100 plus years. This crazy idea of good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, it's just a silly way to hide or confuse biological facts that lead to drug sales, that induce us to contribute or to participate in the medical model. As it turns out, so-called bad cholesterol is an important part of the immune system. We know that there's a relationship between low LDL levels and cancer. Dr. Richard Karras from Tufts University School of Medicine, certainly not a hotbed of crazy alternative therapies, was the senior investigator. Dr. Karras was the senior investigator of a study that found that the lower your LDL levels, the higher your risk of cancer. Does that mean that we now want to go out and take drugs to raise our LDL? No, that would be just as silly as taking drugs to lower our cholesterol so we don't have heart attacks. The point is, the body's chemistry is held in this specific, tightly regulated balance, and LDL and HDL and cholesterol levels, these are all associated with a lot of things, and you can't just artificially manipulate levels and not expect to have some kind of blowback. To poison the body to prevent heart disease is like cutting off your hand to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome or cutting off your foot to prevent an ingrown toenail. Will it work? Well, of course. You can't have an ingrown toenail if you don't have any toes. But you're not going to be walking very well either. Likewise, you can't take a statin drug and poison your cholesterol-making machinery and somehow be the better for it. What's more, even if you're taking a statin drug, you can still have a heart attack because heart disease is not caused by the body making too much cholesterol. Exclamation point, exclamation point. It's caused by the same basic issues that cause all health problems: a messed up digestive system, wrong food choices, blood sugar issues, and bodily and psychological distress. And one of the most important things you could do to prevent heart disease is get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. Use the Healthy Start Pack. Get on the Fucoid and Z. Use your Ultimate Enzymes. Make sure you're taking 9 Ultimate EFAs a day, and it wouldn't hurt you to throw in some Sweeties and Nightly Essence. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Got lines open for you at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552. We're coming back at you with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. Sitting in for the next 45 minutes or so with my good friend and colleague, Doug Winfrey. Hello there, Douglas.
It's great to have you back on the show. And, you were talking about the cholesterol thing. My father was on cholesterol-lowering drugs for close to 40 years, and he died of a heart attack.
A lot of good it did.
And had cancer.
I'm telling you. Where does this idea that we can take a toxin or a prescription drug and somehow be the better for it? Where does this come from? How is this even possible?
From the Flexner report.
That's
where it all started.
What is the Flexner report? Help us out. Help the listeners out.
There was a doctor by the name of Flexner. He was hired by the Carnegie Foundation and J.P. Morgan, and he went around to all the medical schools in the country and found out which ones were teaching pharmaceutical medicine, which was new at the time, sulfa drugs, and then went back and reported to the foundation, and they funded all of those schools that were teaching pharmaceutical medication type of medicine and started giving grants to students to go to those schools.
And what about the schools that didn't?
They didn't get any money or grants.
So they got evolutionarily.
That was back in the early 1900s. So we've been going after this model for close to 100 years, and that's why they're now a legislated monopoly. The one that shocks me the most is, I didn't know this until I heard Dr. Peter Glidden talking about this, that legally only an oncologist can treat cancer. Now, what job security is that, man?
You mean a regular doctor can't even treat that?
No, that's why with your regular primary care physician, if you get diagnosed with cancer, first thing he does is hooks you up with the oncologist. So,
and that's a legal mandate. He has to do that.
That's exactly right.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't either until I heard Dr. Peter Glidden talking about that. I have an ABC News story here today that is, I think, kind of encouraging, and I have to wonder how much our efforts may be, helping out in this. And the headline reads, a third of Americans use alternative medicine.
And what do they call it? What do they regard?
Oh, they're saying fish oil, probiotics, melatonin.
This is alternative?
Deep breathing, chiropractors, yoga, among some of the alternatives.
Deep breathing is an alternative? What's the alternative to breathing?
Not breathing, holding your breath until the doctor can see you.
That's the craziness of it.
Yeah, this is a couple of studies from the NIH.
I'm telling you. So the alternative medicine is breathing. Alternative medicine is nutritional supplements. Alternative medicine is eating correctly. Is that right?
Right. And they say that most of the Americans use the non-traditional approaches, do so as a complement to conventional care. In fact, I've been hearing that as a new term. They're calling it complementary approach to mainstream.
So you can still take your drugs, and it will just complement your drugs.
And only 5% of United States adults are using solely alternative medicine. So you and I fall into that small group because I don't take drugs. I don't go to regular doctors. And
I've never taken I think the last time it was an antibiotic maybe 20 years ago. I don't even know what it was.
Too. Yeah.
Right? And the average American is on 14 prescriptions a day.
Wow.
A year. 14 prescriptions a year. There's 4 billion prescriptions served in America. And the average 50, you and I are over 50, right? The average over 50 person is on two prescriptions a month, at least 2 prescriptions a month. So,
according to the CDC, the average person over the age of 60 is on at least 5 pharmaceutical medications per month.
Per month? 5?
Yeah.
We got a lot of catching up to do, Doug.
And some of at least probably one of those drugs is to counteract a side effect of one of the other drugs.
That's what I noticed in pharmacy school. Pharmacy school, it never made sense to me that we would use drugs to treat disease. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, I probably have, but in pharmacy school, one of the things we study is how diseases are linked to nutritional deficiencies and how nutrients like vitamins and minerals have medicinal properties. We actually study the medicinal properties of vitamin A, the healing properties of vitamin E, the healing properties of selenium and
That's
zinc.
kind of shocking that they teach that in pharmacy school.
They do, because these things are medicines, and we don't study vitamins and minerals like a dietitian studies it, or somebody who's working with food studies it. We study these things as if they were nutrients, and for the life of me, back then and to this day, I could never figure out why we weren't just using nutrients, why we weren't just replacing nutrients when people were dealing with disease states. And of course, then I heard Dr. Wallach saying exactly the same thing, and that's when I joined Longevity back in the 90s. Anyway, if you want us to help you out, if you're on prescription meds and you want to get off of them and you want to get on a good nutritional supplement program, which we do recommend, we can help you do that. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552 toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program, and we're coming back right after this. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we can help you. Don't you think it's smarter to go for a nutritional supplement program, to use dietary strategies, to change our lifestyle, than to use prescription drugs and have to interface with the medical model? 4 billion prescriptions served. Doug, what's the number one, what's the most common natural product taken by children and adults? They call them natural
Fish
products.
oil.
How'd you know that?
Because I'm looking at the article right here.
Okay, that's right. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, an increase, almost a double in the increase. In 2007, it was 4.8% of adults, and now it's up to 7.8%.
Do you know there's a drug that's actually fish oil, or it's omega-3 oil?
Yeah, I saw something advertised about that. You know what I've been doing lately as just sort of a game that I play when I'm sitting around watching a TV is that when one of these ads for like Lyrica or Enbril or one of those ones that's being advertised a lot lately, I time it with a stopwatch and how much time that they spend in the commercial telling you extolling the virtues of the drug.
Compared to the side effects, right?
And then how much time there is listing the side effects.
Right.
And which one do you think is greater?
Is it 50-50?
It's either 50-50 or usually the side effects is greater.
Isn't that crazy? They have to make 90-second commercials for the drugs because they have so many side effects.
Yeah, because the side effects portion takes like 45-50 seconds to tell you about how it's going to maim you.
I saw it when we were in pharmacy school. I remember, I guess this is pharmacy school reminiscence day. But anyway, when I was in pharmacy school, they showed us a movie that was put out by the Ayers Corporation. There's all this propaganda from drug companies in pharmacy school, as I'm sure you can imagine. They're always promoting the whole drug mentality. And so we watched this movie. We had to watch the movie. It was put out by, I think it was Ayers, and it was about their new drug called Indoral that was going to revolutionize the antihypertensive business, the high blood pressure business. Indoral is generically called propranolol. Most people have heard of it now. This is back in the early 1980s. And the movie was almost 45 minutes, and the first 10 or 15 minutes was how great the drug was. And then the last half hour of this 45-minute movie was some lady reading the side effects and reading them fast. And it was just endless side effects. She basically read the whole package insert. And if you've ever seen the side effects on the package insert, it's endless. So folks, if you're on a prescription drug, you got to read that package insert. That's all you got to know.
Do they even give that to you?
No, they don't.
That they usually pull it out of there.
They pull it out, and doctors get. Well, I'm not going to say they still do, but I remember when I first graduated pharmacy school, I was a very problematic pharmacist for Kmart, and I ended up getting fired, of course. But one of the things I was doing, I was just giving people the package insert. I thought they should read the darn thing.
That was against company policy.
The doctors complained, is what happened, and then of course I heard about it as well. And then I started telling people to take probiotics with their antibiotics, and then I actually told people maybe they didn't even want their drugs, and that's when I got canned. And I'll never forget, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I'll never forget Mr. Ozier's famous words to me as he fired me from Kmart. He said, "Ben, you're just not cut out to be Kmart material." And I thought that was... I
got that same speech, too.
Did you work for Kmart, too?
Yeah, I worked in the paint department when I was going in high school and when I was putting myself through college.
Did they say that to you?
They threatened to, because I was also problematic.
Did you get canned from the paint business? No pun intended? No. That's funny. I never, when I was working for them, I was like, how could this company be America's favorite store? And sure enough, I think they went bankrupt shortly thereafter, but they're still around. Anyway, if you're on a prescription drug and you want to get off of it, 831-685-1080. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. 888-379-2552. Toll toll-free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Doc today, along with Doug Winfrey. We're going to take a break and come back with your phone calls. So if you're on hold, hang tight. If you want to give us a shout, we got lines open, 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network.
Let's head to Texas. And Melissa, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuch.
Hola, Melissa.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on today? How can we help you?
My husband has high blood pressure. He's been diagnosed with high blood pressure and also has anxiety.
They go together.
He's not.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, he's not. He kind of didn't figure if it, anxiety didn't cause the blood pressure, but they prescribed him Metropol.
That's a nasty drug. That's a beta blocker drug. I was talking about beta blocker drugs before we went to break. These are drugs that block the heart. I'm going to tell you the pharmacology, how this stuff works. They poison the heart. They shut the heart down. Now, Melissa, you're not a medical professional, right? Obviously,
right.
You're just calling me for help. But as a layperson, do you think it's a good idea to poison your heart?
No, definitely
Now,
not.
if you have a friend, would you poison their heart? If you had a friend and an enemy, whose heart would you poison? It wouldn't be your friend's. And that tells you something right there about the medical model. All right? Friends don't poison their hearts' friends. And loved ones don't poison their hearts' loved ones. And doctors shouldn't be poisoning their patients' hearts. It is the most idiotic among idiotic strategies. And I don't want to say the most because there's a lot of idiotic strategies. So here's what you need to do. Anxiety and high blood pressure are a sign that the body is feeling like its survival is at stake. You have a kid, Melissa? You have a baby?
Yes,
Okay. So when your baby was little and your baby was distressed and your baby was crying and your baby felt like there was danger, that it was somehow fighting for survival of some kind. It was somehow stressed out. Would you ever poison your baby? No, of course not. And that's exactly what's happening with your husband's body. The body feels like its survival is at stake. Anytime there's hypertension or high blood pressure, this is a way that the body tries to redirect blood flow. It kind of closes it off in some areas and opens it off in other areas, and the net effect is to increase the pressure to areas of the body that can get us out of a situation, like the legs. It sends more blood to the legs and away from your earlobes because you need more blood in your legs when you're running from a tiger. So what do? Well, we get rid of the tiger. Now, number one, a tiger in your husband's life is nutritional deficiency. So get him on the Healthy Start Pack, especially water-soluble nutrients, electrolytes, and water-soluble vitamins. And that means the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If he's not sipping on it, have him sip on it today. Don't even wait a day. You might want to get on the whole Healthy Start Pack because the omega-3 fatty acids and the Beyond OsteoFX can also have a very nice effect, a blood vessel opening effect, an antihypertensive effect without poisoning the heart. Then there's deep breathing, which is an absolutely spectacular and rapid way to lower blood pressure. If your husband has a blood pressure cuff, just have him sit on the couch. And by the way, this is not just for Melissa's husband. This is for everybody out there dealing with hypertension. And there's 80 to 100 million Americans dealing with hypertension. And you know what they call most hypertension, by the way, Melissa? They call it idiopathic hypertension. Do you ever hear that term? Did they say that to him? Idiopathic. That means hypertension that we don't know what's causing it. That's what idiopathic means. Well, I'm telling you what's causing it. It's a body in distress, either from lack of nutrients or a lot of sugar, and that's another strategy. Use the sweeties and reduce sugar, or lack of oxygen. And that's why if you sit on the couch or have your husband sit on the couch and take his blood pressure with a blood pressure cuff as a baseline, and then spend 2 or 3 minutes doing slow, deep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, in 3 minutes you will lower your blood pressure faster than any prescription drug, without toxicity, without cost, without having to go to the doctor, and without having to stand in line at the pharmacy or fill out insurance forms. That's how simple and easy health can be. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program. We're coming back with more good health information and your phone calls. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, or 888-379-2552. Got lines open for you. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
All right, let's head to New Mexico. And Kathy, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuch.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How can we help you today?
I have an issue. I don't know whether it's digestive or exactly what is going on. First time this happens, like the middle of December. I just all of a sudden got a pain right below the breastbone, kind of to the right a little.
To the right of your body, under your chest, under your breastbone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just middle to right.
And that's your right. That's your right side,
yes,
right?
My right,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
And I started taking a friend suggested I take the enzymes, Ultimate Enzymes, and the Flora.
Okay.
And I got rid of that within, I would say within a week.
Nice.
And I hadn't had any other issues until it came up again last Friday.
Okay. What do you notice? It's connected to a specific kind of food, or does it happen after you eat?
I was thinking about. It's really kind of varies because I've been trying to stay away from a lot of spicy foods, thinking that.
Well, not what you're staying away from. I want to know if you're if it happens after you eat, first of all, because that's important. You know, if your gallbladder and okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
now
it makes when I do eat, I kind of feel bloated, and it feels kind of like a brick landed in my stomach. It's not going.
Okay.
Anywhere.
How long does it take? It's not immediately. Does it take like a half hour, an hour after you eat?
I would say within 30 minutes, probably.
Okay, I'm guessing. Any history of gallstones or gallbladder problems or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Okay, see if you can find it's fatty food. That does sound like a gallbladder issue to me. See if it's you can associate it with fatty foods. That's first of all, and if you do associate with fatty foods and you want to start to use some things, just some supplements, I'll tell you in a second. The fact that you're taking the enzymes, that you took the enzymes and they made a difference, that tells me that it's a very good possibility that it could be related to fatty foods. Throw in the Biolumin Nightly Essence. That's first of all, and then you want to take those not after meals. You want to take those first thing in the morning and also take some at night. You might also want to try the Z Radical, and then also it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to stay on or to get on the entire Healthy Start Pack. If you do have a gallbladder problem or problem processing fats, that means you're running risks for not only problems with your food and pain, but you're also running risks for deficiencies in fatty vitamins and deficiencies in essential fatty acids. So it's really important that you get on a good nutritional supplement program. Can I ask you how old you are, approximately how old you are?
Yes, I'm 61, and yes, I am a longevity.
You're already using longevity.
I've been on the products for about 3 years now.
Okay, but this is a problem that just started coming up.
Yes.
Okay, here's what you're going to need to do. So in addition to all the supplements I just told you about, you really want to link them up to specific foods. That will give you a lot more information. And then you also want to look for other digestive problems. It's unusual to have a digestive issue, which it does sound like you have, and not have gas or bloating or nausea or discomfort or bowel movement problems or heartburn or any other digestive symptomology. And all of that can function as data and information, and that can help us get you an appropriate protocol. In the meantime, link it up to problem foods, and then use the Healthy Start Pack, and then continue on the digestive enzymes. And if I were you, I'd also throw in the Biolumin Nightly Essence as well as the Fucoidan Z or the Z Radical. And let us know when you gather up the data. Let us know, and that'll give us a little bit more information. We can fine tune a protocol for you. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it very much, Kathy. Okay, who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's head to your neck of the woods, Colorado, and Janie, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuch.
Yo, Janie.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. Where in Colorado are you?
I'm in the Denver area.
Have we met, you and I?
No, we have not.
All right. I'll have to see you at a Super Saturday. Do you go to Super Saturdays?
I've started going to them, yes.
When's the next one? It should be in a couple weeks, no? Or next week?
Yes, in a couple weeks.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get to see you there.
Well, I hope so.
So how can we help you, Janie?
Well, I was diagnosed about 2 years ago with neuromyelitis optica, and I have optic neuritis.
I can't. Oh my God! Can you spell that?
No.
That's just a fancy way of saying you got messed up eyes.
Yes.
That's
I
all.
have one eye that's messed up, and I've gone through tests and tests for the past couple of years for them to finally diagnose me.
Yeah.
Because they were teetering between that and MS, and couldn't find really much toward either of them.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Yeah, go ahead.
And so I was just, I've been on heavy doses of steroids.
Prednisone, of course. That's what they love to give you.
For the past few years, and I've been tapering off, and weight gain caused from all of that, and anxiety issues caused from that. And
all right, let's cut to the chase here. You want some help with that? It's super easy.
Okay.
All right. Here's the deal. Did they tell you it was Devick's disease or Devick syndrome or anything like that? Did they mention that to you?
No.
Okay. Here's the deal. Neuromyelitis optica is probably an autoimmune disease. It's the body attacking the nerves, the optic nerves, the nerves in the eyes. Okay? It's an inflammatory disorder and an immune disorder. And by the way, all all degenerative disease is inflammatory disease. Inflammation means that you have an activated defense system. This is how easy health is. And this is the bottom line to everything I do. And I've been doing this kind of work now for 30 years. The bottom line to everything I do is to show people how simple health is. Neuromyelitis optica is just gibberish. You got messed up eyes, messed up immune system, messed up inflammatory system. And whenever that occurs, you have a digestive problem. This is the only reason why the inflammatory system and immune system, or the main reason, probably the only reason, becomes activated. Something is getting into the sacred space of the blood, and it's freaking your body out. And so the defenses go up. And when the defenses go up, there are cross reactions that occur. And in your case, the cross reaction is occurring with the nerves in the eye. So, my dear, Kathy, you said, correct? What was your name? Did you say Kathy?
Jeannie.
I'm sorry, Jeannie. So here, you got to know. You have other symptoms, correct? You don't just have eye problems. You must have digestive problems. You probably have blood sugar problems. You got other things going on, and if you don't know what they are, you got to find them. Because neuromyelitis optica, inflammatory disorders or autoimmune disorders in the eyes or anywhere else don't just happen. It's not magical pixie dust that the neuromyelitis optica angel sprinkles on your head. You understand what I'm saying? It is something that's getting into the system. It's something that is entering into the bloodstream, and there's only three ways that it can do it: through injections, if you're an IV drug user, or through breathing if you're in a coal mine or you had all kinds of fungus or mold around, which is, possible, I suppose. But more than likely, it's food. So here's what you need to do. You need to start looking for digestive issues, bowel movement problems, gas, bloating, nausea, sense of fullness, queasiness, heartburn, etc., and then link those up to foods. I guarantee you're going to find them. Guarantee, 100%, you're going to find them. And you may already know, but if you don't know, look for them and you'll find them. And then eliminate those foods. Then you're going to start to use a digestive support nutritional supplement program. And that means the Healthy Start Pack, if you're not already on it. That's the baseline. That gets you your Mighty 90 essential nutrients, the Ultimate EFAs, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and the Beyond OsteoFX. Dr. Wallach designed all those products so that you could get the baseline raw materials that you need to run your body. And then you're going to throw in the digestive support supplements, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night, the Z Radical and the Fucoid Z, which does double duty. It'll help your immune system and the inflammation, and it will also help your digestive system. And then you want to use the Ultimate Enzymes, maybe a little bit of apple cider vinegar with the organic apple cider vinegar with the Ultimate Enzymes after all your meals. And you know what? You might want to throw in a couple of the Ultimate Enzymes on an empty stomach. That will help the inflammation. If you want to throw a couple more things in, and it's not a bad idea to do it, use the Ultimate Selenium, which has anti-inflammatory properties and can help you with your nerves, and then also the Ultimate Daily. Here's the thing. It's easy. You don't need prednisone. You don't need a doctor. You don't need any medical intervention for this, my dear. It's an autoimmune issue that you can control yourself. Look for digestive problems, and then do all the interventions that we just talked about and get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack as well. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Colorado. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey. Got one more segment to talk to you at 831-685-1080, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552, toll free. We're coming back at you right after this. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Got a few more moments to talk to you. If you got questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, 844-831-685-1080, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, toll free. Who's next, Doug?
All right, let's head to Tennessee. And Jack, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuch.
Yo, Jack, what's up? Is this Jack Daniels himself?
I'm calling to help my uncle in Poland. He turned yellow a couple of months ago, and about a month ago, he had a very complicated surgery.
What was the surgery?
Institute in Warsaw.
What was the surgery?
It was. I'll have to read it to you.
No,
from
just
the transcript I got.
No, just tell me.
Intraductal papillary neoplasm with associated invasive carcinoma.
Okay.
Intestinal type.
Intestinal? Did you say intestinal? Did you say
intestinal type?
Okay, good.
So
did you say he turned... Hang on, Jack. Hang on just a moment, Jack. Did you say he turned yellow also? Did I hear you say that?
Yes, and
Okay.
and that's how family recognized that there is a problem, and the doctors found a cancer
Okay.
in the main artery of his liver, about 1 centimeter.
Okay.
They have
Okay.
removed this. He lost lots of weight. It's been about a month since the surgery.
All right. You want to get him on a program,
Good.
Jack, my friend. Do you want to get him on a program?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to get him on a good program, a nutritional supplement program?
That's why I'm calling to help.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so here's what you need to do. It doesn't really matter the past. That's done. We need to get the guy to recover. Your friend or your uncle, I don't hear what you said, but we have to get him to recover. We got to turn him into Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know who that is? He's a bodybuilder. He's a big, strong, muscular guy. At least he was. And that's what we have to do. We got to get him to recover, and we got to get him to build tissue and build muscle and get strong again. And there's lots of ways to do it. The first thing you need to do is, if he's got any foods that he has problems with, and chances are pretty good he does, otherwise he wouldn't be in the mess he's in, those have to be eliminated. Any foods that he has a problem digesting or processing are going to make it much harder for him to recover. They're going to put more load on the body. They're going to require detoxification, and it's going to exacerbate inflammation and cause the immune system to have to work harder than it's already working. So any foods that he has a problem with have to be eliminated. If he could practice intermittent fasting, that will also, and that means fasting maybe once a day, every couple of weeks or so, that will also reduce the load on his body. We got to reduce the work his body's doing so that it can use its resources for healing and recovery. And so going on intermittent fasting, eliminating problem foods, that's job number 1. Job number 2 is to strengthen the digestive system. Without a strong digestive system, you can't absorb nutrients, and the fact is he's already compromised because of his liver problem. So you got to get him on a digestive support program. That would be the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night, and the Ultimate Enzymes after all meals. Probably a good idea for him to take a couple of the Ultimate Enzymes in the middle of the day. The Healthy Start Pack is a must-have. That goes without saying. Have him sip on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Personally, I would be throwing in the Ultimate Selenium, which is very important for the immune system, and also the Ultimate Daily, which will give him a little bit more of the basic nutrients, and then last but not least, the Fucoidan Z, or the Z Radical, which not only can help support digestive health, but can also help support his immune system and help him fight cancer. Lots of great literature on the anti-cancer properties of Fucoidan. So using the Fucoidan Z or the Z Radical, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night, or a couple of capfuls of the Z Radical in the morning and a couple of capfuls of the Z Radical at night. So taking the load off the body by eliminating problem foods, practicing intermittent fasting, eating less calories, using the Healthy Start Pack, making sure he's supporting digestive health and wellness with the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the digestive enzymes, the Ultimate Enzymes that is, and also the Fucoidan Z, and probably a good idea to use the Ultimate Daily and the Ultimate Selenium as well. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. And can we get one more in, Doug?
Nope.
No more? That's it. We're out of time. All right. Well, listen, you guys. The bottom line to this whole story is the reason Dr. Wallach does this program, why I do this program, and I do my own program, is because health is simple. We are so sick in this culture, and so unnecessarily so. If you're dealing with a chronic degenerative disease, understand it's in your body's nature to heal. Get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Dr. Wallach. And if you're interested in starting a business, you can make money and you can start a business and you can help spread the word of the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben for Doug Winfrey and all the folks at the ZBS Radio Network and Dr. Wallach. Have yourselves a spectacular, wonderful, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.